football fans, and welcome to the Touchdown Lady podcast. We talk football from a fan's point of view. I'm Cindy, your host. Let's just get into it. Now, before we start the show, I want to do something I call Fans Rant. Well, we as fans got some stuff to say or what's going on in the NFL this year. And the first one I'm going to start off with the officiating. We just feel there's too many flags being thrown against certain teams, and that some calls are questionable with these flags coming out from these officiators. But the main game that they're talking about right now out there is the Kansas City versus the Lions. Now, the Kansas City had no penalties in this game, and a lot of fans feel that the officiating team was favoring once again. I know this controversy came up before. Once again, they are protecting Kansas City. But Kansas City the week before had 13 penalties in this game, but when they played the Lions on Sunday Night Football, they had no penalties in the game. So we're questioning the officiating team. I don't know. Yeah, so that's one of the rants. The next one is the players, the starting players. We're just not feeling the starting players. I don't know if they're playing up to the higher level right now. I don't know, but there's a lot of unhappiness with the fans out there about the starting players, as well as the play calling for offensive coaches calling these games too. When they're really not feeling, I don't know what's going on with that, but it's just like a lot of inconsistencies with these teams as far as the play calling, as far as the starters not playing up to par, like high-level football. We're not seeing that right now. Poor performance. A lot of fans are unhappy. Poor performance on the field from these players. I don't know. But there is something going on right now in the NFL. Another thing that the fans are ranting about right now is celebrating of touchdowns. We feel that leave the players alone. Let them celebrate how they want to celebrate after a touchdown. It's not hurting anybody, and it makes the game fun. We like to see them celebrate when they do the flips and they do their little dance and stuff. So leave that alone. Leave that alone. As fans, just leave it alone. We enjoy that. That's part of the game. The next one, the rants out there was the camera angles. Some of the fans are not happy with the way the camera angles are in these games right now, as well as incompetency of the broadcasters, people calling the game. I'm not going to say any names, but I kind of feel that way too, that some of these people that's calling these games, yeah, we're just not happy with the way they're calling the games right now. And the last but final rant is banning of inappropriate commercials. Now, I really don't know why the fans are talking about, ranting over the inappropriate commercials. I got to go back and check that out some more and see which ones they're talking about. When I looked this up, they didn't say which commercial it was, but fans are ranting about the commercials. I rant about too many commercials during the game. Yeah, I think there's too many commercials during these games right now. Well, let's get into the games that I watched this week, and I'm going to start with the Patriots and the Saints game. Now, this was a good game for the Patriots, offense and defense. They shut down the Saints. They did a really good job. No complaints on offense and defense. I think the Patriots are moving in the right directions in this rebuild, and I like what they're doing on that field. The Patriots won this game 25-19 over the Saints. Drake May had 261 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game. As a team, they had 333 yards, 1 sack, and 65 yards and penalties. On the other side, the Saints, they did not play well at all on offense and defense. Now, when they played against the Bills in Week 4, I thought they did a really good job in the run game, the Saints did. But they didn't have none of that. They didn't show any of that in this game against the Patriots. I don't know. They struggled on offense and defense throughout the whole game. Like I said, the Patriots wound up dominating over the Saints throughout the whole game. Spencer Rattler, who was the quarterback for the Saints, he had 227 yards, no touchdowns in this game. As a team, they had 296 yards, 2 sacks, and 67 yards and penalties for the Saints. The next game was Kansas City and the Lions. Now, this was a Sunday Night Football game, and once again, the fans are unhappy with the Kansas City with no penalties in this game. Yeah. The Lions did struggle in this game on offense and defense. They had a couple of chances to win this game, especially in the fourth quarter, but they just could not get the job done in Kansas City. Jared Goff had 203 yards, 2 touchdowns in this game. As a team, they had 297 yards, 1 sack, and 38 yards and penalties. So they could have won this game. I don't know what happened to it. Now, I know they got some key players that are out on injury, but there's a lot of teams that have a lot of major players that are out right now. I can't believe all the injuries this early in the this early in the season with all these teams with all these injuries. But that's what's going on out there. A lot of teams are hurting because some of their starters are out the game. Kansas City, like I said, they played really well on offense and defense, especially in the fourth quarter. You know, Mahomes did what Mahomes does, and they was able to win this game. Mahomes had 257 yards, 3 touchdowns in this game. As a team, they had 355 yards, 3 sacks, and no penalties. Yeah. The next game is the Bills versus the Falcons. This was a Monday night game. Yeah, and I'm not too happy about this one. Let me just say, I'm going to be real. I am not happy about my Bills getting beat by the Falcons. They should have really won this game, but the Falcons wound up beating the Bills 24-14. The Bills played horrible, especially in the second half. They tried to turn it around in the third quarter, but they was unable to do anything with the Falcons defense. I got to say, the Falcons defense did shut down the Bills offense. The offense for the Bills just played lousy. At the line of scrimmage, it was drop balls. It was just bad for the Bills. Yeah, but for the last 3 weeks, the Bills have been really bad. I have to say, I don't know what's going on with them, but they got a lot of cleanup to do if they're going to make the Super Bowl run. On defense, I thought the Bills played okay in the defense, but at times the defense had holes where the Falcons could just run right through them and get yardage. They couldn't stop the run game or the pass game of the Falcons. So, yes, on defense as well, they got to do a lot of cleanup on that one as well. Josh Allen had 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions in this game. As a team, they had 291 yards, 4 sacks, and 64 yards and penalties. Yeah. On the other side, like I said, the Falcons played really good on offense and defense. They was able to move the ball, pass the ball. They did a nice passing game on the Bills, I got to say. They ran the ball a little bit, but it was mostly a passing game for the Falcons. The defense, like I said, was able to shut down the Bills' offense. They couldn't really do too much. The Bills did have an opportunity in the fourth quarter to come back and to win the game, but they couldn't get it done because, I got to say, the Falcons' defense shut them down. So Michael Penix had 250 yards and 1 touchdown in this game. As a team, they had 443 yards, 2 sacks, and 35 yards and penalties. Yeah, the Bills got to get some cleanup, got to get it done. Come on. Week 6 surprise wins for me were the Giants over the Eagles, 34-17. The Panthers over the Cowboys, 30-27. And the Bears over the Commanders, 25-24. And those are my surprise win for Week 6 of the NFL regular season. Now, the trade deadline for the NFL is November 4th. Yes, players can still be traded up into like I said, the trade deadline is November 4th. So there has been a little bit of movement. The biggest movement that I see out there right now is C.J. Garner got released by the Ravens off their practice squad so far. And then the Steelers, they're now looking for Aaron Rodgers' replacement. There's a rumor out there they might have their eyes on Anthony Richardson, the Colts quarterback. So I don't know if that's a rumor or not, but they are starting to look for Aaron Rodgers' replacement. Aaron Rodgers was on Pat McAfee's show, and he said this is it for him. This is his last year. He played 20 years, and this is it. He's not coming back after this season. So the Steelers are now looking for a quarterback. Call the Browns and get quarterback 144. I'm just saying. And this is a big one, too. The Titans fired their head coach, Brian Callahan, after 2 years of being the head coach. And his start was a 1-5 start this season. I guess they said they didn't want to go another year with him. So he has been fired. Brian Callahan, the head coach of the Titans. Well, Week 7 Thursday Night Football starts, and it's going to be a divisional game between the Bengals and the Steelers this Thursday night. So we can't wait to see that game. That's going to be a pretty good game. Well, this is the part of the show. If you want to reach out to me, you can email me at touchdownladies@gmail.com. That's touchdownladies@gmail.com. Well, I'd like to end the show on a positive note, and I do something I call Facts, Fun, and Football, where I reach in here, and I get something fun to end the show on. Let's see what we're going to get. And this is going to be a joke. Where do football players go when they need a new uniform? New Jersey. And this is Sandy from the Touchdown Ladies saying, don't forget to smile, be happy, be kind, put your action behind your plan, and keep moving forward. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.